Hey, welcome to part 6 of this short course on rolling trolls and stumping Trumpists. We're now ready for the main underutilized yet road-tested technique. It's really simple. It has to be. Remember, herobot behavior is simple. They ignore word meanings. If it sounds good, it's about them. If it sounds bad, it's about anyone who challenges them. Racist? I'm not racist. I'm the least racist person ever. You're the racist. All it takes is a simple robotic sorting operation. Positive word salad for them, negative compost word salad for all the dumb, weak, evil haters out there who disagree with them. Herobots are addicted to that one trick. It's all they've got. They're one-trick ponies. Your response to that one trick is to expose it. Don't debate them. They're just masturbating to you taking the bait. Call them on it. Expose that that's all they're doing. How will they respond? With that one trick, because it's all they've got. Keep exposing it. It disappoints them. That's the good news. You don't have to learn a bunch of complicated debate moves, no memorizing talking points about history, politics, and morality. You don't have to worry that they'll stump you with some surprise move, and you don't have to worry that maybe they're right, that you're just biased against their deep beliefs. It's not about their beliefs. They don't really have beliefs. They make robotic crowing and braying noises that they hope you'll interpret as beliefs. That way they can accuse you of having a bias against their beliefs. You have a bias against robotic crowing and braying no matter what lifestyle brand indulges in it. Left, right, religious, spiritual, anarchist, fundamentalist, communist, capitalist, anti-capitalist, atheist, whatever. One can exploit any belief or lifestyle brand as an excuse for getting herobotic. These days we just happen to be going through a right-wing herobot epidemic. Stalinism was a left-wing one. They come in all flavors. I make a point of never using the terms think or believe about any herobot's claims. I never say Trump thinks or Trump believes. His behavior convinces me he doesn't believe any of what he claims to believe so passionately that it trumps all other considerations. His appeal to Trumpists isn't belief, it's relief from self-doubt. Sure, Trumpism is yet another cult of personality, but ask yourself why people keep falling for those. It's not just hero worship, it's hero wannabeism, fake heroism by association. Trump can do no wrong. If I align with him, I can do no wrong. It's like how people get about God, their imaginary name-droppable ally. Folks humbling themselves before some supernatural, eternally right, righteous, and mighty Lord, so they can go around lording it over others, feeling heroic, absolved, and destined to live happily and heroically ever after. A cult of personality is at core a cult of personal, heroic immortality. It's claiming victory once and for all, which is why herobots crow and bray like their eternal triumph has already been established. It's like they're doing a victory dance mid-game. It's game over. They pretend they've already triumphed. For their robotic, fake, eternal heroism to work, they need people to believe they mean what they say. That's how they win. Their secret superpower is not caring what words mean, and your weakness against them is assuming they care what their words mean. That's your kryptonite. Again, dealing with a herobot can feel like competing against a 3D chess master. That's because they're only operating on the one ungrounded dimension. They're up, you're down. Every move you make on the chessboard proves they already won, you already lost. They know how to get you to take the bait. They have learned to ape and parrot all the gravitas, seriousness, and conviction of someone who is thoughtful, deliberate, and judicious. You'll be tempted to think they mean what they're saying. You'll be tempted to roll up your sleeves and debate with them. They're master baiters masturbating to you taking the bait. The one trick that stumps them is you not taking the bait, instead calling them on their one trick, exposing it, preferably to their face in front of an audience. But if not, to their face without an audience, or to an audience in their absence. Exposing their one trick is the one move we've hardly seen used throughout the whole MAGA cult epidemic. Our star analysts, journalists, pundits, and commentators report on MAGA as if the movement means what it says. Comment on the particulars. They point out the hypocrisy. They expose the flaws in MAGA reasoning, yet they keep enabling the cult by treating it as reasoning, reading meaning into their meaningless crowing and braying. I have yet to see anyone hammer away undistractedly at the most basic and obvious point. These guys will say or do anything to keep feeling triumphant. I'm encouraging you to focus doggedly on that one point. There they go again. They keep proving they'll make any sound to pretend they've already and will always win. Not only does this expose what's really going on with them, but they'll keep proving you right. Trump is running on one thing only, getting away with pretending he always wins. His followers want in on that same empty bullshit bravado. That's all. Simple message. I'll illustrate.
Well, I love Trump and I love Jesus.
Ah, sweetie, you're just saying that.
No, I mean it.
No, I'm convinced you don't. I've been listening to you. You're like a celebrity stalker. You'd stalk anyone who's getting the affirmation you crave. Like a stalker, you fantasize that these celebrities are your imaginary name-droppable allies.
You're full of shit. You don't know me.
No, and I bet you don't know you either. You're a Trump wannabe. Not because he believes anything, but because he's getting away with pretending he always wins, and you want to get away with it too. So of course I don't know you. You're hiding yourself from me and from yourself. You're hiding behind cardboard cutouts of your celebrity heroes.
You're insulting.
Exactly. I'm everything bad and you're everything good. You've let yourself become an ape hiding behind cardboard cutouts, tossing shit at anyone who threatens to expose you.
What's wrong with loving Jesus?
Nothing if you really did, but you don't. You love how saying you love him makes you feel like an eternally heroic saint. You just pretend you love him because Jesus is popular. You're like a high school loser who fantasizes about being best friends with the popular kid and gets so delusional that he starts bragging about it. I'm exposing you, and all you can do is fling more shit at me and insist that Jesus loves you.
Trump is a winner. You're doomed. You'll see.
Yeah, more of the same. You see a flashy celebrity and fantasize that he loves you, that he's your famous, heroic, name-droppable celebrity pal. You just wish you were popular like him, so of course you pretend that he has personally elected you to be on his goon squad. Then you'd feel popular and safe.
Safe from losers like you.
Yeah, safe because fantasizing that Jesus and Trump have invited you onto their goon squad, you can call anyone who challenges you a loser. That way you don't feel threatened by folks like me. It's easy. If you're with Jesus and Trump, then anyone who challenges you is challenging your celebrity heroes. You won't put up with that. You'll yap like a chihuahua at anyone who attacks your imaginary hero friends.
Bullshit. You're a libtard who hates everything good.
Exactly. You've got a simple formula. If it sounds good, it's about you, and if it sounds bad, it's about anyone who threatens you.
You're weak, dumb, evil. You're a hypocrite. You're projecting.
I know. You're like a broken record. Here, let me summarize. You're for everything good, and I'm for everything bad. If it sounds good, it's about you. If it sounds bad, it's about me.
You're dead wrong. I'm for America, freedom, God, guns, life, Christ, and you're a godless, woke, communist, fascist, pacifist, Antifa, baby-killing.
I'm listening to you make my point for me over and over. You've let your mind go to seed. You're not thinking about what you're saying. You're flailing, tossing word salad because you're addicted to pretending you're the hero.
We'll show you. Trump will triumph.
What do you mean will triumph? You've been talking like he already has. That's clearly why you got a hard-on for him. Stand with the already proven winner, and you'll feel free from self-doubt.
You're not a real America. You're stupid, evil, and weak.
Are you trying to prove me right? You keep confirming my accusation. You keep confirming that you'd break any meaningless noise to pretend you always win.
You're pathetic. You need therapy.
You can't stop, can you? I hear you. I'm everything bad and you're everything good.
I'm never leaving Trump, that's for sure.
Yeah, I know. It's hard. Jerking off to your delusions of grandeur would be a hard addiction to kick.
You're impossible.
I try to be.
You admit it?
No, I try to be impossible with exhibitionists like you.
I'm not an exhibitionist.
I think you are, and has nothing to do with your beliefs, since I don't bet you really have any. Not from how little you care about walking your talk.
How am I an exhibitionist?
No, you sidled up to me pretending you wanted a conversation. When you got my attention, you opened your trench coat to show off your stiff little fake heroic self-certainty. Maybe you didn't do that before you got addicted to Trump. Maybe you were shy, but not now, because you've mastered Trump's exhibitionist formula.
What formula?
It's generic. You treat it like it's unique to Trump's genius, but it's what every exhibitionist and cultist uses. It's a formula for feeling heroic no matter how I respond to you jerking off in public. You've got a cliche answer for declaring yourself victorious no matter what. If I get upset about you jerking off, you call me a prude who can't handle your heroic anti-PC toughness. If I kicked your ass, you'd call me mean and unkind. You're the victim. And if I walked away, you'd claim I can't handle your genius. Whatever cliche makes you feel like the hero.
I suppose you never masturbate?
Sure, I masturbate. Self-love is really important.
You admit it.
Yeah, not just about sex.
What other kind of jerking off is there?
Lots. We humans need to off-jerk, venting our egotistical urges, which all humans have. For example, I consider it jerking off when I'm watching a movie and I imagine that I'm aligned with the hero or badass anti-hero. Like I'd be brave enough to do what they do. That's me doing what you do, jerking off to pretending that I'm special. That's masturbation, self-pleasuring to delusions of grandeur.
You admit it.
Yeah, and you don't. That's the difference. You've let it go to your head and rot your brain to where you deny that you're jerking off to your own fake heroism while jerking off in the public square. What you do is way more embarrassing than admitting you jerk off.
Well, what's the difference?
Self-love is important, but get a room. Don't let it go to your head, and don't turn the public square into your fantasy vanity project. When I jerk off, I zip up after and get back to reality. When you jerk off, you mistake it for reality.
You are so wrong about me and everything. You talk nonsense. You're an arrogant, mean egomaniac.
Then why do you keep proving my point?
You're a jerk.
You've flung that shit at me over and over. All that's left is for you to walk away pretending I can't handle your heroic genius.
You disgust me. We're done here.
I can see I disappointed you, darling. Don't trip over your costume cape on the way out the door. I started crafting this course 2 weeks ago based on decades of psychoproctology research, writing, and consulting on the diagnosis, treatment, and prevention of assholery, including my book, What's Up with Assholes? How to Spot and Stop Them Without Becoming One. I didn't expect the course would take off on YouTube as it has. I've been writing and filming on the fly to keep up with the demand, and most importantly, to deliver the promised techniques as soon as possible. The techniques are simple. Sticking with them is hard. But it gets much easier if you know why they're necessary when dealing with herobots. It also gets easier when you get to the bare bones of the technique. Here I've been expressing them in my style and personality, exaggerating them to drive home how assertive one can afford to get once one has placed a careful bet that one is dealing with a herobot. Diagnosing them is the hard part. My research began with a question: what is a butthead? Since it can't just be whoever I happen to butt heads with. People sometimes introduce me as an expert on assholes. I'm a specialist, not an expert. Tyrants like Stalin, Hitler, and Trump assume they're experts on who's an asshole, anyone who disagrees with them. I coined the name psychoproctology because I needed a light name for a deadly serious topic. I couldn't afford to take myself too seriously doing this work. Now I have 2 more parts in mind for this series. They'll deal with careful diagnosis because, wow, is that important. I would never want to talk to decent folks the way I've illustrated talking to herobots. Careful diagnosis takes up about 2/3 of my book on the subject. And I'll finally explain why all of this is grounded in an ironic perspective. Irony is the healthy adaptive alternative to the herobotic perspective, which alternates between fundamentalist and cynical hypocrisy. As I've written this course, I keep wanting to explain its grounding in irony, but I felt duty-bound to deliver the techniques. Now that I have, I can get to that stuff. To me, it's the most important. Once again, thank you for the outpouring of curiosity, and a special thanks to the Trump trolls who have commented. You have served me well, making my work that much easier. You keep making my point for me. You really will say anything to convince yourself you're heroic. See you next time. Well, it turns out few people in the world are into as much raw introspection about the human condition as I am. And if you're one of them, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And that's another thing. I'm for hire. I do strategic consulting on dealing with life's tough judgment calls and dealing with total jerks. My email's down below. Get in touch for a free sample session. Thanks.